And so you think about this, you know, there's a couple steps in this process, and we need to track these steps. The number would be, okay, how many open houses are you doing? That's our first thing. And every one that you do, how many people come? And then what category do they fit in? Of the ones that you consider to be buyers, are you able to get to the place where you're walking them through the house? Because if they're pushing you back and they say, no, you know, I'm not going to let you walk me through the home, well, you can't force them.
Right.
However, you know, you could if you really were, if you had 30 people in the house or something, or 20 people in the home, you may ask them to stay and go around one at a time.
I used to always walk through the home, and then I stopped.
Yeah, that's normal for most realtors. We do what works, and then for some reason we get bored with that, so we try something different. We want it to work. That's all we want it to do.
Yeah. And it did work.
So again, here's those categories. How many are you doing, right? And you know, I'm assuming that you're going to have the proper signage up and all the rest of that stuff. How many walk through the door? How many of those that walk through the door? So if you get 10 walking through the door, how many are buyers? 3 or 4. Out of those 3 or 4, how many do you walk through and give a good proper presentation and talk with? Because if they walk in and you're busy with someone else and they sneak out, you know, you can't really put that in your statistic, right? Right? But you have to show it somewhere so you can kind of say, well, I need to control this a little bit better. But you know, it's something you can't quantifiably say you did right or wrong. From there, how many appointments do you get? And wouldn't it be great to know that, you know, out of 3 people you talk to, you could get an appointment out of one of those?
Bring the open house?
Yeah.
Actually, it's hard, honestly.
Yeah, it is until you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through this whole thing.
Yeah, and then when people write down their email address or phone number, they never return.
Yeah, you never do it. Never do that. You book an appointment on
On that day.
on the day. If they don't book an appointment, I never even bothered.
Okay.
Right? Because I rely on my skills right there in the place. I'm either going to get to the place where we're going to work together, or I'm going to follow up, or I have a reason to follow up. Because if you just turn around and get them to put their email address in
But
there,
is that process even necessary? I actually stopped that process.
which
You
one?
meet them at the house?
Signing in.
Yes, they need to sign in because legally we got to know who's going through the home.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not going to write down Joe Bank Robber, but you know we want to have something in there. But we want to be able to have a tracking sheet of some sort.
right.
Now, incidentally, I've worked with a team or two, and one of the team leaders actually went through the list of people that the buyer's agents were not supposed to be calling, hadn't called in a number of months. So he went back 6 months and he started phoning people, and he found that this person bought, that person bought, this person bought. So there was a lot of people that bought that actually had been in the open houses, and there were still some that were still looking. So the catcher here is this: when we talk about a bottom line, you got to know how many people are coming in, how many people you actually talk to, and then we're trying to book the appointment. It's much better to book an appointment, even if you're just booking to answer questions after,
Right.
than to turn around and take a raw email and try and get with them on email.
And even trying
Forget
to
it.
write that initial email is horrible.
Forget it. You're not going to get to square one. I mean, the odds are so few and far between that you got to increase your skill by getting the appointment booked.
Do you book the appointment at that house?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, if I can. If I can't, I'm trying to book an appointment to talk to them about questions they may have
Right.
about what they need to know going forward.
Okay.
I am really loose when it comes, really relaxed when it comes to this. Not loose, but relaxed. You're trying to get to the place where you're booking an appointment. If you're not booking an appointment, statistically, you know, you want to know where you're putting your effort in, right? If you book an appointment, you have this capability of actually making things happen, where you get the buyer.
Yeah.
If you don't book an appointment and try and phone them, it's about as like a breath away,
Dude,
yeah, away from the floor.
the guy that just wanted a price and eventually got it